Hey guys, welcome back to another video with the Financial Controller. I'm here again with my wife, Maria, who comes from a public accounting background from the tax side. So for a background, I come from public accounting on the audit side, and my wife, Maria, comes from public accounting, Big Four, on the tax side. So we're here today with some Q&A. We're going to cover some questions that you ask in the comment section below each video from the past. I'll try to do this each month. So if you have any question relating to making a move, from public to private and accounting, between audit and tax, questions about interviews, questions about career moves in general and education in accounting and finance, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below and we'll try to address it. So we'll jump right in. We have a few questions to cover today. Some of them are going to be about making a move from public to private, some of them about the best career path to become a controller, some of them about personality types, introvert versus extrovert, and the type of work, the nature of work that you're going to be doing in public or in private accounting. So we'll cover a lot of questions today. So without further ado, let's dive right in.
All right. Our first question, Bill. This is a public to private question.
Okay.
All right. So he says, one of your viewers said, what do you think about leaving public after 1 year with a CPA license and into a GP financial reporting role at an investment management firm? Do you think this is a bad move for someone aspiring to become a controller?
Okay, that's a great question. So this is a controller question, right? This is somebody who wants to become a controller. It looks like they spent 1 year in public accounting. And my general view on public accounting is that it's a really good place to start your career, right? So if you want to become a controller in the future, public accounting, whether it's Big Four or a regional firm or even a smaller firm in general, public accounting is a really good place to give you a really good foundation because you learn financial statement analysis when you work in audit, especially. Financial statement analysis, how to tailor an audit program. When you tailor an audit program, in general, you dig down into each of the accounts on the income statement and the balance sheet, and you really get a good understanding, right? So this person spent 1 year working in public accounting, and my general view on public accounting is 3 years at a minimum, right? If you really have to, and you can't take it anymore, and you want to get out, maybe 2 years. This is the bare minimum, in my view, to get the right amount of experience, right? So in this case here, I feel like this is 1 year is too short. Try to stick it out a little bit more, 2 years at a minimum, if your goal is to become a controller.
Awesome. All right. We have another question. This is from Alex. This is a controller question. To become a controller for a small, medium-sized company, how long will one want to spend as a senior accountant in the private industry?
Okay. So this is a good question. This is about the duration of time. If your goal is to become a controller and you work in private, this person is a senior accountant. The natural progression is to do a senior accountant role, and then naturally you progress into an accounting manager, and then from there you could either make a leap into a controller position, maybe at a smaller company, or then if not, then an assistant controller and then a controller. But in general, for a senior accountant, to answer the question, the short answer is 3 to 5 years. Okay, so if you really want to get a rounded experience as a senior accountant, because what a senior accountant do is going to be learning how to close the books on a monthly basis, learn how to manage an audit, an external audit, work with the auditors, learn how to compile the financial statements, do all the adjustments needed at month-end close. In my view, and I think this is something that Malcolm Gladwell said, that it takes 10,000 hours to get good at anything. And 10,000 hours roughly translate into about 4 years. And this is where my view of 3 to 5 years comes from, plus or minus for the variation of like if you're someone who gets things quickly, you're quick in your feet, maybe it's more than 3 years. If you're someone who takes a little bit longer to get into things and learn things, and it's 5 years.
But not necessarily needs to be the same firm, though.
No, not in the same firm. So, and in general, you'll see in my other videos, I advocate, leaving a firm and going to another firm. So like in my career in general, I spent about 2 to 3 years, sometimes 4 years in each position at a company. these moves allow me to learn more about different companies, different processes, different thought process. I worked with maybe like 4 or 5 different controllers. I got to learn different philosophies on how to handle, close the books, how to manage the accounting operations. So yeah, 3 to 5 years, you're right. Like it doesn't have to be within the same firm.
But this is your way. I work in the same company all my career, so you can go either way, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to really advocate for someone to just do jumps between firms. Maria here spent 15, 16 years working for the same Big Four, and that gave her an advantage of knowing, the inner mechanics and how everything works within that firm, become an expert in the subject matter.
Well, I guess because I have different clients, so it felt like I was working for different companies.
That's true, yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next question. Oh, this is another one. All right. What job position would you suggest I take if I am trying to head in the controller direction? An accounts payable role or a full charge bookkeeping role?
Okay.
So which one is better?
So another controller question. Okay, so this is someone who's their goal is to become a controller, and they're wondering whether to take an accounts payable position or a full charge bookkeeper position. So my answer to this is that it depends on your goal, what size company you want to be a controller at, right? So if your target in the future is to become a controller at a small company, then take a full charge bookkeeper role, because a full charge bookkeeper role, what a full charge bookkeeper means is that full charge means that you'll be doing everything. You'll be doing accounts payable, billing, compiling financial statements, and dealing with banks and stuff like that. So it's almost as though you're doing a controller position, but your title is full charge bookkeeper. This is going to expose you to more things that are happening around the company. Versus taking an accounts payable role, that's if your goal is to become a controller at a bigger company in the future, right? So if your goal is to become a controller at a big company in the future, you need to master 3 things. And these are the 3 things that we talk about in the 3 things you must master if you want to become a controller. I'll leave a link to that up here. So that's going to be P2P, procure to pay, O2C, which is order to cash, which is the billing process, right? And then R2R, which is record to report. And this is R2R is the process of gathering all the information from P2P and O2C and making all the right adjustments to close the books at the end of the period. So these are the 3 areas you need to master, and AP is one of them. So if you want to become a controller at a larger firm and potentially even a publicly traded firm, then you need to become super knowledgeable when it comes to all of these 3 areas. So accounts payable is one of them. Master that in an accounts payable role, and then make a transition into O2C, work a little bit in billing or revenue accounting, and then spend some time working as a reporting person, R2R, record to report, right? So that you can gather all 3 areas.
That's great.
So that's my advice there. If you target a smaller company, full charge bookkeeper is the way to go.
Okay, great.